My mom was pregnant with our little brother Frankie, so we couldn't go out on the road.
Your life didn't allow for touring at the time, so it was disappointing.
But it ended up working out because right after that I joined Christmas Carol, Christmas show, Frank Langella.
When our manager called to say he didn't get Tiny Tim, of course,
I booked a job with Scrooge and a couple other just ensemble characters, but the kid that was playing Tiny Tim got sick, and I had to go play Tiny Tim.
At that point, in 8 years of it running on Broadway at Christmas time, they'd never had an understudy play the role.
It was a crazy thing, because I had one day of rehearsal to get ready, and I remember I was just really nervous, and that day I got over all my nerves. From that point forward, it was like, forget that, we got to do it.
On September 29th, 2000, Denise gave birth to her fourth son, Frankie, but there was no slowing down for the family.
It was very busy. We were going into the city. There were 8 shows a week. We were in the city 6 out of 7 days.
Nick went on to appear in a slew of hit shows, including Annie Get Your Gun, The Sound of Music, and Beauty and the Beast.
Nick, I think, still holds the record for the most Broadway shows under the age of 11. It's pretty impressive.
When I was a baby, I used to always watch Nick on Broadway. He did a great job.
Joe wasn't far behind. After performing in local theater, he appeared on Broadway in Baz Luhrmann's production of the opera La Boheme.
Seeing children on a stage with great actresses and actors and musicians, it's a life ambition.
With their 3 sons also acting in commercials, the pastor and his wife had their hands full.
Days started at about 6 or 7 in the morning, and we usually got home if there wasn't traffic somewhere around 12:30, 1 o'clock at night.
Because of the boys being so involved working and not having enough time with us as parents, we decided we needed to keep them home and homeschool them.
I enjoyed being busy. Knowing that I was getting to go do what I loved every night was kind of an amazing thing.
What Nick loved most was singing, and in the fall of 2002, he was asked to contribute a song to the Equity Fight AIDS Christmas album.
And they said, would Nick be open to singing a carol for this CD this year? And so we said, well, how about we write a song? So on the way home, Nick said, I have an idea. How about this, Dad? Joy to the world, hope for every boy and girl. An octave higher than that. And it was like, oh, yeah, that's a great start. And by the time we got home, the song was written. 2 months later, our chiropractor, I had given him a copy of it. He said, there's this guy in the music business that comes to my practice as well. He said, can I give it to him? And what I didn't know is that guy was the guy that brought Celine Dion to the world. And he took one listen and was amazed and actually came to meet Nick.
The executive gave the demo to his friend at a small Christian label called I&O Records. I&O partnered up with Columbia and signed the young Jonas Brothers.
It was kind of shocking at first that it happened, and you never know what to expect whenever you just sing it. People. Then we moved into the music recording side of this whole thing. That's where I really found my passion and my heart was there.
For the next year, Nick worked on his debut album of Christian pop. Then in September 2004, Nick's first single, Dear God, was released.
It was a little boy praying to God. Could be Christian, Jewish, anybody with a faith in a higher being, just saying, the world's kind of messed up, can you do something? It was a really great song. An adult contemporary radio said, it's too faith-based, and Christian radio said, it isn't faith-based enough. And so that was disappointing.
Obviously, they're trying to position Nick as a Christian artist, and it really wasn't the right fit.
In the music business, for things to hit, it's almost like catching a perfect wave. You have to have the right product at the right time and in front of the right people.
When it came time to put the record out, the label stalled on it. Eventually, it was released, but only in limited places. It did not sell very well, and Nick's time at that label at that point,
I got a phone call that said Nick was in the hospital. And I was scared because I thought it was the end of their career.